Say no to a fight. I'm ready. I'm always ready.
One thing's for sure, though, the AJ phenomenon, it continues, doesn't it? I mean, such a crowd here tonight.
What a crest of a wave, what a ride. I think everybody was behind him here because we're having a great time. You know, he's the party, and when he rocks up.
Let me mute this for a minute. That was it's he's going to get the AJ fight if certain things fall into place. For example, AJ is going to have a IBF mandatory to be ordered after October the 27th between the winner of Hughie Fury and Kubrat Pulev. When was his last IBF mandatory? He's supposed to fight again April the 13th, 2019. I'm sorry. You have to look at, some things and understand your boxing politics and understand that right now, with the way things are looking, Joshua and Hearn are not going to be able to have too much control over what happens with who AJ fights April the 13th because of mandatory obligations. Dillian Whyte says he's never turned down a fight, but he did turn down Kubrat Pulev to make sure if he would have beat Kubrat Pulev, he would have made sure he would have secured a shot against AJ in April. Right? He did turn down Luis Ortiz in the past, but now the past is the past. Dillian Whyte's resume right now in the last 2 years, outside of Malcolm Tan, is amazing for the heavyweight division. And if he was to get Luis Ortiz Luis Ortiz scout by the end of this year, they're saying if it was to happen, it would be December the 22nd over on Sky Sports Box Office, and here in the States it'd be on the Zone. Joseph Parker, very, very good, entertaining fight. He knocked the shit out of Lucas Brown, on HBO. Very, very good, entertaining fight. Robert Helenius, who was still a very, very good quality name at that time, beat him unanimous decision. Malcolm Tan, he fought here in the States. I forgot what undercard that was. I covered it. And then that big heavyweight fight of the year against Derek Chisora. So, of course, the Derek Chisora rematch is out there, but from my understanding, Derek Chisora is asking for crazy money. And it's understandable. It could be his last fight. Likely will be his last fight, especially if he loses. He wants to make sure he get that major cash out. But in my opinion, it should be Dillian Whyte versus Luis Ortiz. Here's the thing. A lot of people really don't understand, and they're calling corruption in regards to why Dillian Whyte is not the mandatory and Dominic Breazeale is the mandatory. I don't have the time now, but one day soon I am going to go into full detail on the timeline and, why Wilder hasn't fought a mandatory in regards to injury, failed drug tests, etc., etc. But in this case, they have not done anything wrong. If anything, they should order Dillian Whyte versus Dominic Breazeale for the WBC interim, right? But Dominic Breazeale, my understanding is he really wants to hold out and hold steady and say, I am the mandatory. I'm not going to fight nobody until I get the winner of Wilder versus Tyson Fury. But the WBC is riding with the winner versus Wilder versus Tyson Fury to fight. Everybody's on board for Wilder versus Anthony Joshua to happen if Wilder wins. You can't count out, obviously, Tyson Fury. But as it stands right now, everybody is in on that fight, except the teams got to come together. The sanctioning bodies like, listen, we want it to happen. The networks are like, listen, we want it to happen. But it's a big, gap right there between the fight being broadcast on the Zone and Showtime, who handles Wilder. There's some things they got to sort out. But as it stands right now, when you're the A side, Mayweather held the keys. Canelo holds the keys. Joshua holds the keys. When they want the fights to happen, they happen. You can't blame no other side than the A side. You can't blame no other side than the A side. Obviously, if a fighter is asking for 50-50, then it's okay, blame the B side. If they're asking for 45%, blame the B side. But 40%, we've seen them come to terms for the biggest of fights. I know you UK fans, everything. Wilder, look at, he's not selling out Wembley. Ah! When it comes to a fight like this for undisputed, you got to settle. Listen, AJ getting annoyed. AJ is getting annoyed with all this. You can tell. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Please subscribe.